Dahil ang nakasaad dito ay puro katotohanan at kapag nagsinungaling kayo ito ay pwede kayong makasukan. Ito.
Ang aming policy ay talagang kailangan may handwritten sila, ganun lagi sa aming opisina. Saka namin ipapatype sa lawyer. Tapos pero i-interviewin mo nang mabuti. Kung mula sa puso mo at talagang totoo yung
At
sinasabi
ginawa ho
mo.
yan ni na Atty. Bagay.
Pa, ginawa po niya.
Sila rin ay binisita ng mga kinatawan mula sa Commission on Human Rights o CHR upang alamin ang kanilang kalagayan at tiyakin ang kanilang kaligtasan. Ito ang naging dahilan upang sila ay kupkupin ng gobyerno. Determinado ang NTF-ELCAC sa kanilang misyon na tiyakin ang kaligtasan ng mga batang ito. Gayunpaman, nakapanghihinayang na patuloy silang ginagamit na pain para pabagsakin ang demokrasya ng ating bansa. Suriin ang bawat impormasyon na makikita at maririnig lalo na sa social media upang hindi na malinlang ang ating mga kabataan.
Magandang hapon Pilipinas. Tayo po ngayon ay nanonood ng Tag Reloaded, Debunking Lies by Telling the Truth. Ako po ay si Angel Abellan ng NTF-ELCAC Media Bureau. Tayo po ngayon ay napapanood sa NTF-ELCAC Facebook page. Ngayon naman po para sa ating preliminaries at introduction po ng ating mga panauhin, allow me po to introduce our host. Siya po yung host natin ng previous press conference at kilala po natin siya bilang isa sa mga pagsalita para sa NTF-ELCAC, pati na rin sa media affairs nung nakaraan na ngayon po ay siya ang ating NTF-ELCAC Media Bureau Head, pati na rin po ng Integrated Communications Operations Center. The man of the hour po, walang iba kundi si Mr. Joel C. Egco. Sir, magandang hapon po.
Magandang hapon and thank you, Angel. Correct ko lang, the man of the hour ay sila yung ating mga panauhin ngayon.
Oo nga po, I apologize. Of course, ating mga resource persons. Go ahead, sir.
Alright, again, magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat and welcome to another special episode of Tag Reloaded, Debunking Lies by Telling the Truth. Borrowing the lines of Defense Secretary Gilberto Teodoro, hindi tanga ang Armed Forces of the Philippines. They're not stupid. At mas lalong hindi po tanga ang NTF-ELCAC. There was nothing wrong in trusting. Wala lalong masama na tumugon sa hiling ng mga magulang ng mga di umano'y nawawalang mga kabataan na sila ay tulungan sa paghahanap sa mga ito. At dahil dito, napatunayan nating ligtas at payapa yung dalawa. Kontra sa katinuan at tamang pag-iisip at common sense na ilabas mo sa madla ang sinumang iyong taong dinukot. Sa madaling salita, the NTF-ELCAC acted on good faith and had put premium on the strength of the affidavits signed by the two voluntarily supposed activists that they decided to leave the underground movement on their own volition. Nasaan ang pananakot o sinasabing duress kung ang kanilang mga sinumpaang salaysay ay kanilang nilagdaan sa presensya mismo ng kanilang mga magulang, abogado ng Public Attorney's Office at mga opisyal ng Commission on Human Rights. Ngayong hapon po, ibubunyag natin kung sino ang sinungaling, sino ang traidor, at sino ang mapanlinglang sa kabanatang ito. Our resource persons will disclose all damning evidence on hand to prove that the two, Junila Castro and Jed Tamano, are members of the underground movement, with Castro being a self-confessed combatant of the New People's Army. And because of that, they decided to bolt their organization and surrendered to authorities. Mapapanood po natin lahat yan mamaya. It's their word against their own sworn affidavits and other pieces of evidence that will prove that they are not as innocent as they claim to be. Kung inaakala nila at kanilang mga kasama na sigurado po akong nanonood ngayon sa atin, pati yung dalawa, na nakaisa sila, nagkakamali po kayo. Sapagkat mas lalo lamang din yung pinakita ang inyong tunay na karakter at kulay. na mahirap kayong pagtiwalaan sapagkat ang mga kadre at iba pang kasapi ng underground movement ay nabubuhay sa mundo ng kasinungalingan. Bakit sila bumaligtad? Sinadya kaya ito? O baka naman nagbabangong puri yung dalawa sa kanilang mga dating kasama matapos silang magbigay ng mga malalalim na impormasyon laban sa kanilang kilusan. Kami po sa NTFL kakay nangangamba para sa kaligtasan nila sapagkat sa pangyayaring ito, maaari rin po silang pagsuspetsahan ng kanilang mga kasama na naging asset na sila ng pamahalaan. Maraming spekulasyon, maraming katanungan na kailangan sagutin. Pero ang pinakamahalaga po sa ngayon, napakita natin at napatunayan na ligtas si Jed at si Jonila. Today, we are joined in by no less than the Executive Director of the NTF-ELCAC, Undersecretary Ernesto Torres Jr., who will share to all of us, to everyone, to everybody, all documentary and video evidence pertaining to the two's own admission of being underground operators of the Communist Party of the Philippines, People's Army National Democratic Front, and that they voluntarily surrendered and wanted to be rescued. And after Undersecretary Torres, we will hear from Attorney James Clifford Santos, the spokesperson on of the Legal Cooperation Cluster of the National Task Force to End Local Communist Armed Conflict. Ito po ay papakita sa atin or ipapaalam sa atin ni Attorney Santos on how to proceed legally from here on. Napanood po natin sa audio-video presentation na bago po magsimula ang press con, sinabihan sila ng PAW lawyer na kung sila ay magsisinungaling, sila po ay maaaring makasuhan ng perjury. At naunawaan po ng dalawang kabataan yon. After their presentations, we will open the floor for the open forum to answer questions that will put the pieces of the puzzle together. May we remind our colleagues in the media that you will be entitled to a question and a follow-up during the Q&A. Once again, what happened in Plaridel, Bulacan earlier this week, kung saan ako po mismo ay naroon at nasaksihan, nakausap yung dalawa, and they were very, very jolly. And if I were to be asked, bibigyan ko ng Best Actor Awards itong mga ito, pang FAMAS. That incident was only a minor setback that has huge legal implications. Kung ano ang katotohanan sa likod ng mga nakabibinging kasinungalingan ng mga taong nagngangarap sirain ating bansa, ay malalaman po natin ngayong hapon. And to start the ball rolling, let's call on Undersecretary Jun Torres for his opening remarks and presentation. Boss Jun Torres, you have the floor, sir.
Maraming salamat, Yusek Joel. At magandang hapon po sa ating lahat na nandirito ngayon sa ating press conference, particularly kay Attorney James, kay Attorney Cliff, no? Nakasama natin ngayon na magbibigay liwanag dito sa usapin tungkol dun sa dalawang kabataan nga na nasa press con noong Tuesday, no? Na nagbaliktad ng kanilang mga statement. So I'd like to start, Joel, by saying that yung press conference na ginawa noong September 19, Tuesday, sa Plaridel, Bulacan, is imbued with a tremendous amount of good faith. Particularly good faith coming from the different agencies of the government who made their commitment to help out these two young ladies to be given an opportunity to be mainstream to our society, no? Because admittedly in their affidavits, no, they were members of the CTGs or communist terrorist group in different capacities, but we were betrayed, unfortunately, through a web of deceptions. Their parents were betrayed. People who expressed their willingness to help were betrayed also. Even our legal system apparently is being betrayed at the moment. And more importantly, yung betrayal of truth. At yan po ang ating ilalahad as we proceed in our presentation later on. Yung mga pinakita kanina, hihimay-himayin po natin so that we can further discuss yung mga contents nung pinakita during the opening. But at this point, kagaya nga ng sinabi ko, just even before the press conference, ang NTF-ELCAC, to include its partner departments, agencies, including the security sector, we were very much willing to provide security, comfort, and the needed support for these two young ladies. I'm referring to Junila Castro and Jed Tamano. Just for the information of everybody, as our mandate, National Task Force NTF-ELCAC, our mandate is to harmonize the efforts of the different departments, agencies of the government, and its stakeholders, to come up with a program, with activities para makatulong po sa ating mga kababayan, to address the root causes of insurgency, ika nga, for peace and development. Kaya, true to our mandate, nung may dalawang lumutang na sumuko po sa ating gobyerno, we right away sought the assistance of different agencies, to include the DSWD, nandoon po ang CHR, ang PAO natin, nandoon, ang security sector natin, referring to the PNP and the Armed Forces of the Philippines, and of course, yung local chief executive doon sa area. First, kung saan po sila nag-surrender, yung mayor ng Angat, Bulacan, and then later on, dun nga po sa conference, kung taga saan yung dalawang kabataan na to, yung mayor ng Plaridel, Bulacan. So everybody was very happy because we thought we have saved 2 more souls in falling into the trap of the CPP, NPA, NDF. But as we have observed, as it developed during the past days, parang nagkaroon po talaga ng deception, mukhang pre-planned yung nangyari, and we are now ready to share to the public all of these things that we have experienced with this organization, which was represented by these 2 young ladies. I would like the public to know also that right after they surrendered, we communicated with their parents. And immediately, yung parents po ni Jed Tamano, her stepdad, si Mr. Manalastas, and the wife, Glenda, came over right away. Kaya yung pong pinapakita kanina sa video, talagang na-miss nila yung isa't isa dahil apparently months na hindi umuwi sa kanilang bahay si Miss Jed Tamano. Unfortunately, yung pong magulang naman ni Junila Castro ay hindi po nagpakita despite the several calls coming from the yung pong guardian ng ating yung dalawang bata, they committed to be there as I was told, pero they failed to show up for reasons that I still do not know. Nagkita na lang po sila after na ng press conference, and that was almost immediately after press conference. So we would probably like to know where they were in between. And then the mayor of Plaridel, Bulacan, because prior to the press conference, I was in Davao region kasi attending to the first anniversary celebration of the insurgency-free declaration of Davao Oriental at that time. So I called them, my staff, my directors were there also, and everybody was jubilant. Even the two young ladies, they were already talking about how to go forward. They were talking about possible scholarship, how can they be helped, and a host of other things. So nagtatawanan na po sila, masasaya yung atmosphere. Kaya po, yun nga, we were quite hoodwinked. We were blindsided. Hindi po natin talaga inaasahan na mangyayari yung mga ganito, at yan ay masasaksihan yung mamaya as we show to you the video recording of the different events that transpired during those days, for the past 3 days. So we thank the mayor of Plaridel for extending a helping hand, for hosting the press conference like last September 19, and for offering that commitment to help out yung mga nangangailangan natin ng mga kababayan, lalong-lalo na po ang mga kabataan. So the primary purpose of that press conference is only one, to show the public that these two young ladies are safe and well taken care of by their guardians, particularly yung 70th Infantry Battalion. That was the pure intention. But things turned out differently because, as I've said, we were quite deceived, and surprised, appalled, by the change of heart, the sudden change of heart of the two young ladies. So with that, I guess we are now ready to proceed with the presentation, Mr. Moderator.
Thank you, Either June. Yes, when you're ready. Ayan. Okay, let's go.
Yes, please allow me to take you through these several slides and video clips related to the alleged abduction of two activists in Bataan, referring to Miss Junila Castro and Miss Jed Tamano. So the first slide that you will see, next slide please, is this one. Here you could see the mother of Jed, the one in blue, and her stepfather, the one in dark blue, yung nakatayo, they were reunited. That was, I believe, on the 12th of September. While on the other side, ito pong si Junila Castro, kagaya po na nabanggit ko kanina, despite several calls to her parents, ay hindi po nagkaroon ng pagkakataon na salubungin yung pagbabalik po ng kanilang anak. So yan po ang kanilang when they were reunited with Jed's parents. Okay, yan po yung maikling video clip dyan. The next slide will be a video also. Ito yung nagpapakita ng admission of Junila as a member of one NPA command, particularly yung Lino Blast Command. And in that she figured in an encounter back in 2021. Panoorin po natin. So I'm not so sure kung yung video mukhang ay audio mukhang o mahina lang ang signal sa kinaroroonan ko ngayon.
We will adjust, sir.
So
Paki-play ng maayos.
Okay, what this slide is telling us is that there is an admission coming from Miss Junila Castro as a member of Lino Blast Command, and that she was relating that story that kasama siya doon po sa encuentro sa hindi ko po na kung Bataan or Bulacan, but that was in 2021. So later on, we will show to you the handwritten affidavits also of the two. Again, validating that that statement of Miss Junila Castro. Can we go to the next? The next video after this one. Here we can see that they were not forced to make sworn statement after this one.
Yusek
Pasensya na,
June,
medyo
boss.
yung signal yata natin na may diferensya. So on the screen, you could see that the oath is being administered by the PAO lawyer, si Attorney Bagay po ng Region 3. And very important, in the presence po ng mga magulang ni Miss Jed ni Miss Jed Tamano, nasa likod po, no? So what is being shown here is that they were the affidavit was validated and voluntarily admitted, yung mga statement doon by the two ladies in front of the PAO lawyer and the parents of Miss Jed Tamano. Okay, next slide. Dito po makikita natin yung representative from the Commission on Human Rights Region 3. Kinausap din po sila, no? Sila lang doon to check on the safety and well-being of Jed and Julina. So ito po yung pinapakita natin dito sa slide na to. Alright, next is yung pong mga handwritten affidavits nung dalawang bata, and I would like to give emphasis on certain very important contents. Of first, yung pong written affidavit ni Jed Tamano. Meron pong dalawang pero yung isa transcribe lang, computer printed, but the contents are the same. But this one, as I was told by our lawyer friends, mas may diin, no? Mas truthful yung mismong handwritten na affidavit po ng isang nag-execute ng kanyang affidavit. So shown on the slide is the handwritten affidavit of Miss Jed Tamano. Among the things that she claimed here is full-time na organisador noong huling linggo ng Mayo taong 2023 at miyembro ng Kabataang Makabayan. She also alleged that buwan ng Hulyo ay nagkaroon ako ng kasama na si Jaja. Yung pong alias Jaja turned out to be Miss Junila Castro. So meaning nung Hulyo lang po sila nagkakilala ni Junila Castro. At nabanggit din sa affidavit na yan ay napagpasyahan naming kausapin ang isang masa na kontak ni Jaja sa Pampanga upang sabihin ang aming planong umalis sa kinabibilangang organisasyon at kalaunan ang pagsurrender sa otoridad. At ang mga binigay niyang rason dito ay panganib sa aming seguridad, personal na rason, at binanggit din dito ni Jed na sumusuko ako sa mga otoridad dahil sa banta ng kapahamakan ng ibang grupo na galit sa amin, paghihirap at stress, pangungulila ko sa aking pamilya sa 3 buwan kong pagkilos upang makapagbagong buhay, makapasok ng trabaho at pagsama sa aking pamilya. Tinitiyak ko na hindi na ako sasama sa mga grupo sa hanay ng CPP, NPA, NDF. Ito po yung kanilang kay Jed, And then kay kay Julina, salient points sa kanyang sinumpaang salaysay ay binanggit niya na, and I quote, "Hindi totoo ang mga balita na may dumukot sa amin, kundi tumakas kami sa mga dati naming mga kasamahan." Sinabi niya na may 4 na taon na akong nasa kilusan. Organisador sa kabataan, naging hukbo, meaning nag-NPA po siya, at huli ay naging organisador ng mga mangingisda. Umikot ang buhay ko sa hirap at pangamba. Hirap dahil sa gutom, pagod, lungkot, sa pagkawalay sa pamilya at sa trabaho. Pangamba dahil sa araw-araw na pagtatago. Higit pa nga unti-unting lumilitaw sa akin na wala namang patutunguhan ang lahat ng paghihirap na dinanas at dinadanas ko kung magpapatuloy pa ako sa kilusan na pagtanto kong ayoko ng ganitong buhay. Binanggit din ni Julina na balak na kaming trabahuhin ng grupong RHB, isa sa kalabang grupo ng NPA. RHB, kung hindi ako nagkakamali, ito yung revolutionaryong hukbong bayan, na hindi tugma sa paniniwala ng mga NPA. And lastly, she claimed also na ibinabahagi ko kay Rian. Yun po yung koda ni Jed, Rian. Ibinabahagi ko kay Rian ang balak kung tumakas at dahilan nito, ipinaliwanag ko sa kanya na huwag na niyang hayaang masayang ang buhay niya katulad na nangyari sa akin, hanggang sa nahikayat ko siya na sumama sa pagtakas ko. Muli, pinabubulaanan ko ang mga balitang may dumukot sa amin, etc. So it was signed by themselves, and then it was also signed by the I believe Reynante Bautista is the mayor of Angat, in Bulacan. So those are the affidavits and those are the things that we have at the moment na nagpapakita po that yung claim nila na under duress yung kanilang pag-execute ng affidavit at yung mga circumstances na nangyari even before the conference, all the commitments na matutulungan yung dalawa were all there, So with that, I end my presentation, and may we now transition to the showing of video clips also of the interview of Jed's stepfather, Mr. Manalastas, and a video clip of the interview of Attorney Acosta of PAO. So that's it, Mr. Moderator. Thank you for the opportunity. I'll be ready. I will be ready later on for the during the open forum. Thank you.